Have you lost the fire of God? 1 Thessalonians 5:19 says, "Do not put out the Spirit's fire." It is possible to lose the fire of God. This can be a slow, deadly process that begins with apathy, proceeds to stagnation, and ultimately ends with the ashes of spiritual indifference. The King James Version of this verse says, "Quench not the Spirit within you." Keeping the fire burning bright is the result of a decision we make to maintain our relationship with God. The Spirit is quenched when we take our eyes off Jesus and begin to focus on the lies of Satan. Revelation 3:15 and 16, Jesus says to the church in Laodicea, "I know your deeds, that you're neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth." Apparently, the church had once been on fire for God, but they had cooled off. They had allowed the embers to chill and the flames to die out. Based on this verse, it seems that someone who loses the fire of God is worse in God's eyes than someone who has never even experienced the fire of God. This is because they've had a taste of God's fire and they've lost it. Anyone who returns to the bland diet of the world after tasting the magnificence of God's glory deserves to be spit out from God's mouth. This type of person has a form of godliness, but they deny the power of God. They talk about what God did in the past, but they never see God move in the present. Paul urged Timothy in 2 Timothy 1:6, "I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Notice the fire originally came from God when Paul laid his hands on Timothy. But now Paul is instructing Timothy to make a conscious effort to keep that fire burning. If the fire of God is neglected, it will slowly wane and eventually be quenched. After a fire is started, it needs to be nurtured. Paul's image suggests a tiny flame that must be blown until it is burning strong. Fanning a flame provides the oxygen that causes the fire to burn hotter. This oxygen is the breath of the Holy Spirit, blowing away cobwebs and causing dying embers to glow once again. The more a fire is fanned, the hotter it will burn.